Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mean, Friday or
Ready
Tuesday.
trying to find somebody.
Yeah,
Because
that's
they're Tuesday.
Big shoes. Big shoes.
Okay, this meeting is called to order. We're returning to open session from executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 42.46.5, Exception 2, litigation and contract negotiations. There were no votes taken. Do I have a motion to seal the minutes?
So, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, then, would you join us, please, in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call. Dana Long is not able to be here. Julia Howell here. Kathy Kaiser's here. Julie Caulfield here. And BJ Woodhouse. Recognition. This is Teacher Appreciation Week, and the Town Council has proclaimed it Teacher Appreciation Week in Jamestown. So, Councilor White, if you would please read your proclamation.
Thank you very much. I did want to mention this is my third meeting this week. And if I knew I was going to have this many meetings, I would have run for school committee. I was planning on only one or two a month. Whereas the town of Jamestown recognizes the important influence teachers have on the future of our children and thus on the future of our community and nation. And whereas Jamestown teachers are charged with the all-important task of ensuring that no child is left behind in our schools. And whereas Jamestown teachers are committed to providing a rigorous and relevant curriculum that prepares our students to be lifelong learners, problem solvers, and decision makers. And whereas Jamestown teachers are committed to high standards of personal performance and continually seek to improve their own skills for the benefit of our students. And whereas Jamestown teachers should be accorded high public esteem, reflecting the value of our community places, the value our community places on public education. Now, therefore, we, the Town Council of the Town of Jamestown, Rhode Island, hereby proclaim May 3rd through 9th Teacher Appreciation Week in Jamestown and urge all citizens to pay tribute to our teachers by order of the Jamestown Town Council.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Public forum. Would anybody who's not here like to speak? Okay, moving on then. Old business. Vote possible, the second reading of the transportation policy. Okay, we do have a motion to dispense with the reading, the second reading. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Were there, I assume everybody has taken the time to read this in advance. Were there any further changes?
I have none. I have a tiny grammatical thing. I don't know if it's important.
I got it too.
Oh.
We got the same one.
All right.
So it's gotta be important. All right, we just want to add a preposition, right?
Yes.
Yes. In the last,
Please.
the last line, they will be published in the district's newspaper of record and on the district's website.
Good catch.
Touche. Where are you?
Oh, please.
You said,
no.
Hey, it's correct. It is correct.
It cannot be published in a website?
no.
We don't need to.
I don't have any strong objection to that amendment.
Good.
So can we pass the, approve the policy
Or
with
so
that
amended,
change?
of course.
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the transportation policy as presented with the addition of that preposition.
On Grandpa.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, one down.
Thank you.
Actually, we're going not to the next policy. We're going to the Race to the Top memorandum of understanding. The Department of Education, some of us have spent many hours in meetings on this with the commissioner and all the other school committee chairs and superintendents and union representatives. And I feel very comfortable with approving what is before us. It is not substantially different than the first round. There are certainly some modifications, and there's some beefing up in some of the sections. And again, hopefully everybody had a chance to go over this ahead of time. We lost, I think it was 6 overall points in the overall scale for not having signatures, not having approval of, across the board, the schools and the union. So it's not clear yet how our union will weigh in on this.
I had a meeting scheduled to discuss this on last Tuesday, and they canceled. They said they had other commitments, and so we didn't get to discuss it. But I know that they have a JTA meeting on Monday, so that maybe they will discuss it with the membership. I will try again to meet with them and discuss it, but we have been at meetings.
The summit, for instance.
Right.
The summit, and
With our union reps.
Kathy and I were both at one meeting with the commissioner, and Kathy was at another one with them, where they were hearing the same thing that we were hearing.
Which is, the union has reservations about a lot of the material on evaluation. But as David Abbott made very clear at one of the meetings, the evaluation piece is gonna happen whether or not
It's in the
we get
BEP,
raised to the
yeah.
top. Right, it's in the BEP. So, not to say that it's a moot point, but I mean, I think our union, our local union, reps understood that. Whether there's a statewide stance that's gonna happen that would preclude our union from approval, I hope it's not the case. Because I think that it's really important, especially now, when Jamestown really will gain very little, if anything, from this financially.
Financially, but, I've got other stuff to go over with you. I think we would gain tremendously from it.
Okay, great, great. All right, well, just to look at it from the financial end,
Yeah.
even if we gain very little, the reality is, it's, at some point, we have to broaden our view for what's good for the state, what's good for the other students in the state. So I would hope that all unions statewide will be in the same mindset and do what's best for Rhode Island.
And long-term, there may be fiscal payoffs if you have struggling or failing districts in the state that do benefit from this, and as a result, they no longer are failing, they're improving, resources become more available.
By signing the MOU, there's a second part to it, which is the preliminary scope of the work, and we have to say yes or no to these various proposals that our approval of the memorandum of understanding, we make the commitment that if the money comes, we will participate in these aspects. And we spent a good amount of time, our leadership team today, going over each one and seeing what our commitment would be, what the benefit would be. And one thing that Dave Abbott did this time that I think is very helpful, and we'll just walk through this quickly if you're willing to take the time.
Sure.
He starred all of the things that are in the BEP that this would help us to, we've got to do it anyway. And this would help us with professional development, with coaching, with a good number of things that will move us along in our compliance or meeting the requirements of the BEP. And I think the administrators and I all think we've got a lot of work to do to be able to say, yes, we are implementing the BEP in totality. But do you want me to just briefly go through this, Kathy?